What's good?
Can you dance?
What up, AP?
Let's find out. I want to see everybody on the dance floor right now.
Who with me?
I'm about to put y'all to the test.
Let's go. Come on.
Do you know the dances? Do you know the hip-hop dances? Let's see. This one is the raw for sure, taking no chances. Bringing back them old school dances, here's the answers. Whether you remember or you're new to this endeavor, dance is a major part of this culture forever. What are we preserving if the children ain't learning? Culture ain't about just numbering and just words.
What's good?
Sometimes you gotta show the culture at the party. Let's start with the Bismarck dance. Come on, everybody.
Let's go. I know you can't wait. Neither can I.
After the Bismarck, the party about to get sparked. This is that moment you get live, get courage, get hard. I spit art, I'm one of a kind, they not me. I'm digitally underground like Shock G.
Who with it?
G, when I jump, we jump. That's crisscross, but we talking about Humpty Hump. When you up, what? This is your chance. Come on, everybody, do the hump.
Come on.
Dance. Let's go.
Do that, Humpty.
That was the Humpty, now let's get it chunky. Like Biz used to say, yo, let's get funky.
Who with it?
With the funk flow, we don't stop. Right about now, we're gonna take it to the wop. Remember the wop? Feet slide, shoulder drop. We did it in the clubs, we even did it on the block. Ready, set, go. Stand on your spot. Take it to the top. Come on, y'all, let's do the rock.
Come on. Who remember that one? Who remember that one? Y'all ain't think I had it in me, did you?
Watch this.
Come on.
Whopping, not stopping, hip hopping, we dropping. We ain't even get yet to popping or locking. It's shocking how many dance moves we came with. Obviously, we and the ancestors got the same gift, the same lift, the same riff, and the same split. Like Bob Marley said, when the music hits, it's painless. You can't tame this.
Don't stop it. Come on.
Love me. Come on, y'all. Let me see you
Do the Dougie. Come on.
Woo. That's right.
I know you feeling it right now, right?
That's right.
I already got y'all on the runway. We about to take off here in a
This
second.
that part where we go freestyle. Some of y'all doing the Cabbage Patch. Some of y'all doing the Running Man. Let me see what you got. Come on.
Let's drop dime on it. Let's get it.
Freestyle.
Here we come. We on the runway. Let's take off.
Yeah.
Who with me?
B-boys at?
Tracy Dillingham, I see you in the building. Latoya, I see you in the building.
We out.
Let me ask you guys a question. Should we just get right to it, or should we just get right to it? What Birdman say? We finished or we done? Can we get started, or should we go ahead and get started? All right. I'm back. I took a week off. It took a lot. I was drained. I was going to make up a lie of why I took my week off, but I'm going to keep it 100 and funky with you. I took a week up out of here for the reason of I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. I see too much going on from Ukraine to the United States of America itself, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I can't sit back and keep being the bad guy telling all this truth. We sending all this money over to these other countries and all this foreign aid, and we don't have enough aid right here in our own country. We're not aiding everybody, but yet we paying for it. It's just I can't do it. You got all these shootings. You talking about all these people getting shot over in Ukraine, and we got people in the morgue every day right here in my own city. And we don't want to address the problem. You'd rather go all the way to Ukraine and talk about those issues than talk about the issues at your local Kroger's and at your local Targets. You got little young brothers getting shot and killed, and y'all don't want to really address the real problem. You don't even want to talk about it. Y'all figure out something else. Now, you know I can't talk about it today. I can't talk about it today Because y'all want to talk about this other greasy shit about these people in their personal lives and how they didn't put their shit all out here on the table, and now cats getting smacked in the face. I got a question for you. When dudes start smacking? When tough dudes start smacking? Where I come from, we punch. I remember my uncles, my cousins, I used to get punched in the chest. The only people that ever smacked me was my aunts, my cousins, and them. Matter of fact, I see one of my cousins, Tamika Parks, on here. That ain't always been her name. She is a lovely bride. Her mama and them used to smack the shit out of me because I was a bad little boy. I threw rocks and shit at the buses. They didn't abuse me, though. I don't want to put it out there like that. They just kept me on a straight and narrow. But when us tough dudes start smacking, I had a buddy of mine tell me that Will Smith bitch slapped Chris Rock. And you know what I say? I'm torn. Y'all got to give me a minute to breathe on this one. I'm a little torn about this whole situation because I am a father of 2 little girls. I'm a husband, of course, of a wife, a woman. And I'm torn, but I know right from wrong. I know right from wrong. And I'm going to tell you something. The same people right now trying to justify. Now, I'm not saying I don't understand where Will was coming from. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this. The same folks that think it's okay for that man to put his hands on somebody. Y'all the same ones that be on some different shit when somebody put their hands on somebody at a Target or at Walmart or at Kroger's, when you convert to violence because of what somebody say. I know y'all ain't really feeling me on that, but I got to put it in proper perspective. Oh, for those that think that it was valid, that it's valid that he put his hands on him, I will address that as well, because, you know, I'm not saying that if I was Will Smith, I wouldn't have made TMZ. I'd have made TMZ. It just wouldn't have been that kind of way. Can I be honest with you? I'd have put hands on Chris Rock too. Only if I would have known that he knew what my wife was going through. See, what y'all fail to realize is everybody ain't as nosy as y'all. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about some of y'all. Some of y'all know everybody's business and shit. Y'all know that Jada had this disease, hair disease. I didn't know. I didn't know it. Hell, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know Jada wasn't even in G.I. Jane 1. I caught up with the joke once I realized. It took me some time to understand that, okay, it was a bad joke. I'm first to post it and say it was a bad effing joke. When you're dealing with someone that may have a handicap, a disability, or a disease, you just don't joke on that. But if you knowingly joke on that, that's when I have a problem with you. And I don't care if you get jumped. I don't care if you get beat up on stage. I don't care. But if you knowingly, purposely do something to someone and validate that, then I got a problem with you. However, if Chris Rock, like me, like a lot of people, like Ricky Smiley, like several others who are in the entertainment field, they didn't know that Jada had a condition. They didn't know. Now, I have to think. Let's be honest. When has Chris Rock ever done anything against the culture? I know he did a hair movie. I think he was making making some points there. I think he was talking about self-esteem issues and how natural hair could be great. I think he was doing that more so than he was coming down on the culture. But when has Chris Rock ever tap danced for outside of the culture, trying to make it seem like we don't know? Chris Rock was making valid points at one point when he was talking about the people that live in his neighborhood. He was like, I live next door, right next door to Mary J. Blige. It's me, Mary J., and then it's this white guy. I'm an entertainer, Mary J. an entertainer, and he's a dentist. You know what I mean? It was one of them type of things where he's always put things in proper perspective. Even when he was going through his worst moments. When he was going through his divorce and it was somewhat public. But let me ask you something. Is it fair to say that Chris Rock actually knew that Jada had a hair issue? Listen, I don't follow celebrities like that. I don't follow celebrities to the point where I know they medicals or I know what they going through when it cause Jada and them been doing some wild shit for the longest. She been a rock star on stage doing the punk rock stuff. She done looked everything from a rapper to a heavy metal singer. She's done it all. So I don't know if these are things. Look at her kids. Look at what the kids going through. Look at how the kids get their hair cut and the things they doing. One day I just happened to see on social media that Jada had shaved all her hair off. When she was going through a crisis, I was under the impression. I don't know. But one thing I do know for sure of is they put their shit out on a red table. And I know one thing for sure. I have to admit, I get it, Will. Chris Rock totally disrespected your wife only if he knew. That's just my opinion. Now, I'm open for discussion, but I'm just letting you know, I only think that it's wrong if Chris Rock actually knew that this lady had a condition. Now, everybody's talking about Chris Rock disrespected Jada. Now, I don't know how many of y'all feel the way I feel. But I've seen Jada do a whole lot of public disrespecting to Will. I've seen it. I mean, you can't help but see it. Entanglement and all this other shit that's going on. I've seen Will literally on the screen. Literally, I've seen him look like this. Who remember this? I'm the only one. I'm the only one that's seen Will Smith look like this. And her look to him was this. Look at the memes that's going on. I'm not impressed, Will. Tupac would have shot him. Y'all don't remember all the shit she was saying about how much her and Tupac were this emotional love thing they had going on? She's telling this. Okay, ladies, how many of y'all think that you can get away with that with your husband? You think you can get on Facebook Live and be talking about your ex-boyfriend and how much you loved him and he wrote you poetry, he was your first love and all this old shit. We had a magical discovery together. We this and we that and bow, and your hubby's supposed to just be like, I'm glad you were happy once in your life. You trying to tell me this man hasn't been publicly embarrassed multiple times? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That still don't make it right. Okay. What I'm saying to you is what I seen. Now, this is grown man shit. Ladies, fall back a second. Fellas may agree with me. If you don't, you can stay under that fallback lane with the ladies if you want to. I seen built up tension. I seen a man who made a move on another man because of all the other shit that somebody said. What I also seen was Will Smith on some sucker shit by picking a soft target. Oh, y'all think Chris Rock is the first one to ever say something about anything about them? I've heard worse. When his wife was getting smashed by his son's friend, I heard worse shit than that. I ain't heard nothing about Will putting no hits out on nobody. I ain't heard no gangster shit from Will. But he picked the easy target. I'm about to explain to you how I know he picked the easy target. Some of y'all already know. Some of y'all already know how easy the target was. Let me tell you why. Because a real G really understands the move that was just made. Believe me if you want to. Think about it if you have to. But I'm about to tell you what I seen there. Will Smith walked up to that stage and he knew Chris Rock wasn't going to do shit. No matter what he did. Cuss him out, grab the mic, say fuck you. Whatever he had to do, he was going to do. Will Smith didn't. He knew Chris Rock was not going to do anything. You know why? Because Chris Rock ain't about that life. Neither is Will Smith. Now, I had a buddy tell me today, and we can agree to disagree, Will Smith about that life. They from Philly. Will Smith has been removed from Philly since he was 16 years old. He was removed out of Philly because the streets where his mama didn't want him in the streets. It's not because he was a street kid. Will Smith had a talent. He had a talent. He was a rapper. Parents just don't understand. Remember that? He was rapping about parents and shit. Don't understand. Will Smith was not a gangster rapper, none of that shit. Will Smith is not a gangster. And he picked the easy target. All this shit that's been said about Will Smith and his family and Jada and all this old shit, and you go up and smack Chris Rock? Now, granted, I know everybody don't agree with what I'm saying, damn it, but let me just explain to you what I'm doing here. I'm telling y'all, I would have been on TMZ. I might not have been on national because I wouldn't have done that shit the way he did it. Now, you're talking to a father and you're talking to a husband. I would not have done it that way. What I would have done is I would have kind of took a little bit out of Ricky Smiley's page. I said it this morning. I would have waited for him to remove stage left or stage right. I'd have been right back there waiting for his ass. And we would have tore up the back room. We would have tore the back room up. I'd have been in his ass. I'd have beat his ass. I might have gave him an opportunity to say the writers wrote that joke. Will, I didn't write that. I was reading it off the cue card as we went. I'd have gave him an opportunity to explain himself, but it would have took a magically delicious excuse for me to not whoop his ass. But I would have done it in the back because there was a bigger situation going on than what Will was trying to show his wife. This Negro actually laughed at the joke. He didn't get into his feelings until he seen that Jada was feeling a certain way. And the reason why y'all taking it the way y'all taking it is because you think this is a black man defending his family. Well, I'm a black man with a family, and I think I would have done it a little bit different. Does that count for anything? See, what he did is he totally effed up the night for other people. And I'm not talking about the other participants. I'm not talking about the people who won the awards and the nominees and Diddy and all them. Get that, all them dancing motherfuckers. I ain't talking about them. Who I'm talking about is the Will Packards, the all black production staff. This was their opportunity to put on a show the first time. All black staff. All black production staff. So this won't go down as an iconic moment for our culture. This will go down as a Will Smith knock the shit out of Chris Rock moment. Not to mention, if you ever watch Wyatt-Live, I was a fan of the King Richard movie, and I told y'all right here on live, and I took pictures and I did everything I could do to tell y'all this movie right here is more powerful than any movie Will has made in a decade. This King Richard movie is dope as hell. This King Richard movie is going to win everything it go up against. And I said, this is Will's biggest performance, and they did a great job on casting, the whole nine. But now let me ask you something. What did King Richard in the movie that has so much purpose and so much life, what does it have now? What moment? What took away from its power? What took away from it? Now, y'all might be like, you tripping, bro. I got to go. You tripping. I got to go. I'm telling you that if you don't start becoming methodical thinkers, you're no different than the shit that's going on in Target, at Kroger's. Y'all sitting back wondering why these brothers are having conversations and conversations turning physical. This is why. This was on national TV. It overshadowed everything positive that we could possibly get out of it. And I know everybody love the chaos. You love the messy and the nasty. You love that shit. I get it. You love the fact that Will put his hands on him. But would Will have done that to everybody? I heard, now I can't make this up. Like, I can't be the one to say, I don't want to come off like I'm the genius and I came up with this. But I think if the other Dwayne Rock would have been up on stage, shit would have been dealt different. I'm going to even say this. Little bitty ass Cat Williams, Cincinnati. Even if Cat Williams was up there and said that same shit, we all know Cat throw hands. Whether he win or lose, man, I will fuck you up. You know how he is. He would have threw hands. He knew, Will Smith knew, going up there hitting that soft ass target, there was not going to be any throwback. Nah. He picked that target. Let me tell you how I know that. I'm going to go back a little bit. How I know that is when a man hit another man and you don't know what's going to happen, you don't hit a man and then turn your back. That's a total disrespect. That's a I know what's about to happen. I'm going to sucker punch this dude and I'm going to walk off because he is a bitch. I know he ain't going to hit back. He ain't going to do nothing. But how many of y'all ever seen a man hit somebody and then just hit them and then turn their back and walk away? You don't fear? You're not scared? You're not afraid that he may come back and punch the shit out of you in the back or in the neck or whatever, or hit you with the microphone or hit you with something? No, nigga, because you knew you had a soft-ass target up there. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all about those people that stand down at the city halls and stand at the police stations and shit. You already know them people can't do nothing to you. You can holler and scream and jump up and down at a politician. They can't tell you how they really feel. That's an easy target. You look like you got some power because you saying what you want to say. But you know they ain't going to put their hands on you and they ain't going to do nothing. You know that. Yo, soft ass. You ain't making no difference. You just making a lot of noise. I said what I said. But Will knew he had a soft target, and y'all know it. Real G's know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all pump fake by this bullshit. You really pump fake by thinking that Will Smith went up there wanting some smoke. Will Smith went up there and put his hands on a man that he knew wasn't going to punch him back. For whatever reason, whether him not being in that life, or that he knew that they had somewhat of a relationship, and Chris will understand when I drop this off on him. I don't know what was going through the mind, but let's just go back and think about something. I'm going to show the clip for those that may have missed it. I'm going to show the clip, and I have a different version of the clip. And I'm just going to say this like I said at the beginning. I'm going to start putting some of these comments up. I'm sorry, y'all. My apologies. I'm just going to say what I got to say. Glenn said Cat Williams would have got whooped. I seen him lose to a crackhead. But sometimes it don't matter. If you see somebody out there fighting, some people just don't want to deal with somebody that'll fight you back. You ever seen a bully fight somebody even though they can beat the person? If that person fights you back, they might just go away. Like the bully might not want to mess with the guy that'll fight you back one day. Because you never know what'll happen. The crackhead might get out on your ass one day. But all I'm saying to you is this. I don't agree with the joke. I really don't agree with the joke, especially if Chris Rock knew that there was a condition with Jada. But I seen Jada do some crazy shit. Y'all, look at how they dress. Look at the kids. I don't know. 1 week they boys, 1 week they girls. I just don't know. So I don't know. Y'all know how Hollywood is. You know they can get to looking like spaceship people at one time. I'm talking about by the clothing. And then the hair got to match the clothing. So I don't know. I didn't know that Jada had a condition. I didn't know. I don't think Willow has that shit and she got half her hair shaved off. You just don't know. And there are some stars out here saying, I didn't know that either. I didn't know she had a hair condition. Some of y'all stay in them little magazines and on podcasts and shit, and y'all know all their business. You know they wear blue on Tuesday and all that shit. Everybody don't know that. Everybody don't know that. But I'm just telling you, if Chris Rock knew the condition, and let me just say this to you. If I had some money to bet on it, my money would go on Chris Rock didn't know. You can't tell me a man that smart, been that intelligent in the game of jokes. The joke wasn't even that funny. It wasn't a killer. It wasn't a joke that was going to put him on next year. It wasn't a joke that was going to embarrass her. It wasn't a killer joke. So it really had no bite to it. And what I mean by that is I didn't see anything like, okay, Fame wants the number. My bad, excuse me. 513-310-0546, Fame. I put it on the screen. It was not one of those type of jokes that had malice to it. That's why I have a problem with people who think that he purposely tried to hurt her feelings. I've never seen Chris Rock do that. Chris Rock don't stand on stage and talk about the black culture and down us and do things of that nature. That's not what he does. I can't find myself to believe that he purposely made this joke up to insult her appearance. And to be honest with you guys, this is going to sound kind of crazy to some of you, but Jada has always been gorgeous in our culture, from playing on Cosby Show and then transforming over to Different World and then playing in the movies and things of that nature. And I don't think it's changed. I think even with her hair the way it is right now, I still think Jada Pickett's a gorgeous woman. That's just my opinion. I think she's a gorgeous woman that has some issues when it comes to self-esteem, and I think the hair can do it, but I think she had issues well before the hair issue. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. I think it's very tough that you have a person that's in your same field and they're making 25 million a movie and you've made probably $5 million in your entire career. And that's including putting Set It Off in there. And this isn't about money. It's about an individual's feel. I seen something in that whole clip that allowed me to come from a male's perspective. And ladies, you may think that you want a man that's going to protect you like that, but that's not what I seen here. What I seen here was Will was being Will. When the joke was said, Will was still doing the fake. I don't think he was laughing at the joke. I think he was just being part of the crowd. I think he was just smiling and doing his fake Hollywood smile and laugh. That's what I think. And I think he was ha-ha and chi-chi and hee-hee and all the shit that you do in Hollywood. And then when he got caught when he caught his wife's eye and she wasn't feeling that shit, all of a sudden you didn't even see him in the picture anymore until he was on his way up to the stage. And I think what Will found out was, if I don't go up here and deal with this shit, I'm going to have to go home with her ass. And she's going to remember this moment where I didn't defend her for the next 10, 15 years. I'm going to have to hear about this shit every day. I'm going to have to hear about this. And I don't think he really wanted to do that. So he did something that he just don't characteristically do. I'm going to take a call real quick. All right. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt-Live. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, buddy. It's Fame Rothstein. How are you doing?
Hey, Fame. How you doing?
Oh, I'm outstanding, man.
Good, brother. What's on your mind? What's happening?
Oh no, the Will Smith issue. I did a YouTube video earlier, and a lot of stuff that you're saying, I said, in that,
Okay.
because it's that obvious. I'm not saying that you stole my thunder or I stole yours, nothing like that. It's just that obvious, that visceral. If you ask me, I am a betting man, and I'll say this: that smack was for Jada.
Oh.
Chris just happened to be the one that did it.
You felt frustration in him.
He's tired of her shit. He was laughing at the joke first. She was the one always looking cockeyed at the joke the whole time. He was laughing at it at first, and then the camera cuts to Chris. Then somehow the energy changed, and that's what made him walk up to the stadium and walk up to the stage and slap the shit out of him. But he was okay with it at first. If you watch the whole clip, he's okay with the joke, and she's got him out of pocket. She's gave him those weird ass kids, these weird ass androgynous kids. You know what I'm saying? She's giving him that. He probably, Will Smith. I mean, he's probably looking like, I'm Will Smith. I mean, let's be honest. I'm confident in my sexuality. Will Smith's a handsome dude. Probably any woman in the world he wants. And he had to deal, and he accepted with your ass, and you give him this. And this is the thanks he get. You know what I'm saying? Like you was talking about the money discrepancy between them two. She didn't need to do Hawthorne or anything else that she's been in since they've been married, because it's been peanuts compared to just even one of his movies. I Am Legend or Independence Day or any of that. You know what I'm saying? And so her job was to make those kids productive and successful citizens. She's not done that. I mean, they may be successful, with their rock bands and goofy shit like that, but even in Hollywood standard, these are weird ass kids. They're every sexual other than homosexual or heterosexual. They're pansexual. They're this sexual, that sexual. They're just weird ass kids. And this is all her doing. And as the mother, it's like I used to say on another format about Aisha Curry. She needs to readjust her goals in the relationship and prepare her children to accept the fact that her husband is going to inherit is going to allow them to inherit $500 million.
Fame, I gotta ask
you know,
you. Okay, go ahead. My
Go
bad,
ahead, I'm
brother.
sorry.
No, keep your flow going,
No, what were you
bro.
gonna say?
I was just gonna ask you because I'm seeing some people make some comments across the screen, and then it's kind of hitting my mind a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how this is all falling on Jada. I mean, we know that they've had some issues, but how is this falling on Jada?
Because, like I said, no man with that kind of money wants to deal with a woman who's going to give him weird, fucked up kids.
But wait a minute. You don't think if these kids are what you're saying, you don't think Will Smith plays a part in how their kids are raised?
Absolutely not.
What?
Absolutely not. Nope.
So
This
if
is
they
her.
grow up to be
This is her.
successful,
This is all her.
you
She's the only
know what
weirdo
that you
doing
know
this
you
kind
know
of
what
stuff.
that statement reminds me of, Fame. I got to put it in a perspective that I know because I had this,
Put it in perspective.
I had this.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong. I just don't agree. Some people actually agree with you. I'm watching the comments. They saying you're correct. I just want to put it in this statement. We don't really know Will and Jada. We really don't. We only know what their life is of what they say and what they put out here in the world and the atmosphere for us to absorb, right? We didn't know Bobby and Whitney Houston either. But everybody had Bobby Brown being the messed up
bad
one,
guy.
the bad
Right.
guy, and it
Right.
was him ruining her life when in actuality it was the other way around. And I bring that point
well,
up.
Here's how you know that she's the one ruining his life.
Okay.
Her biggest stardom in the 20, 30 years they've been married was been humiliating him.
Well, I can give you some of that. I can give you some of that because Will had his moments humiliating her as well. He cheated on
How?
her. He cheated on her at one point in their career of their marriage.
It's one thing to cheat on them. It's another thing to bang your kid's friends.
Oh yeah, that's way out of bounds. I'm not saying that you're
That's
wrong
way
there.
out of bounds.
I'm not saying
That's
that at
way
all.
out of bounds. Your kids, like you said, they're nappy head, bald headed, or whatever. Weird haircuts. You can't tell if they're boys or girls. This is her doing.
Yeah, but if you notice a lot of Hollywood.
Look at the mom. Look at the grandmom. She's what, 70 years old? Still looks like she's 25.
Yeah, she look great.
They like to flaunt that. They like to flaunt that kind of stuff because these are weirdos. She's doing this.
Okay, well now I got you. All right, so you feel it's Jada. All right, so now I wanna take it to another spot. I want to take it to another area. Another question for you. So him going up there and hitting Chris Rock for that joke or whatever we want to call it. It was a joke. What's your response to what he did? His response to Chris Rock. What do you think should have happened? Do you think he was right for that?
Chris Rock is the consummate professional. Because he shook. He's like, I can't believe it. I just got shit slapped at me on national TV. He doesn't know what to do. He's totally fucked up. He has no idea what to do. And the way that he carried it on, but without just snapping back, like, oh man, we got scrapped for, he could have, that would have been me. Oh no, we got to handle this after the show. Will, no more mention of it. None of that. Chris carried on.
So you don't see anything wrong. Wait a minute, hold on, Fame, because you the perfect one for this. Because I got somebody on gear shit. You gonna say what you say. You don't think it was something different about a slap versus a punch? Didn't we get punched when we?
It was very. That's why I'm saying. That's why Chris is shook. Like, I can't believe he slapped me.
Bro, if a dude, hey, bro, listen, man, listen, bro.
It's like spitting on somebody.
Bro, if a dude really want to get in my heart, you better punch my ass hard. If you slap me, nigga, we fighting. If you slap me, we about to fight. That's all I'm saying. So if you come at me with this open hand,
Will's a little bigger. Will looks like a Division I athlete. He's 6'2", 200-something pounds. He looks like a Division I athlete. Chris Rock is smallish. What, 5'10", 5'11", 150, 160? He's always been slim.
Yeah, man, but
Will did that on somebody who knew he could get that off on.
Well, yeah, he did. I've made that point. But you know what? I just wonder if it would have been anybody else up there with a written joke. What if it would have been Dwayne Rock or if it would have been I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
If it would have been The Rock, Will Smith is talking shit from his seat. He ain't even getting up.
Yeah.
He's talking shit from his seat, and the director cuts the camera.
But he did do that too.
And runs him out.
He did do that too.
What he did was so out of character and so odd. Nobody knew if it was real or fake. Like, what? You know, it was just so out of character. Then now he's talking about he's in character too much. Didn't Omar from The Wire say the same thing? Like he was having trouble with his sexuality because he was so identified as that character.
I don't know, but that was one of my favorite characters. I can't think of his name, but Michael something. I can't think of his name.
Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams play Omar. Excellent job. Rest his soul. He passed away on us last year. But yeah, my thing is this, bro. I just think that it was a whole different kind of situation when a man go up there and slap versus punch. I mean, I think dudes that really got a problem with you they're gonna punch you in the mouth. That's just how I feel. I think it's a different type of, slapped over. I mean, I still don't agree.
It's so old school. It's hood. It's demeaning.
Yeah,
it's really, that's why it's called a B slap. I mean, I don't want to, use certain words on your show, but that's why it's called a B slap.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
It's totally meant to demean you, not even hurt you, demean you, not physically hurt you, but mentally and emotionally hurt you as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a man to do that to you. So yeah, I mean,
So now let me ask you this, Fane.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here. Do you think have you seen the history of Chris Rock doing something to the culture or do you think he did this on purpose? Do you think that he knew that Jada had a hair condition and that he attacked it or he made fun of it?
I ain't buying that.
I'm not buying that either. That's just my opinion.
I have a sister with a hair condition with alopecia.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She's the only one of us with that. Like, there's just certain things you don't mess around with, and even a comedian doesn't do that. Not a professional one anyway.
And especially a Chris Rock. Especially
a
Chris Rock.
I've been in the game 50 years. Chris Rock been in the game almost 40 years doing stand-up. He knows what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. That's why he's hosting the Oscars, or that's why he's at the Oscars presenting. Used to be a host because they know what's in and what's out of bounds.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, all that kind of stuff, man, it's terrible. Will Smith, but like I said, I truly believe that slap was meant for her.
I get what you're saying. You're talking about it was frustration from all the things that he's had to deal with in his public. His life is now public, not just because of the slap, but his relationship, his marriage, his everybody who understands or who knows them understands that Jada was having a relationship or what they call an entanglement with one of their kids' friends. I mean, and Will, after the fact,
still in love with another man, Tupac, who's been dead for 20 years.
And
everybody, his whole thing is just, his whole aura has been kind of broken up a little bit.
Let me just say this to you,
Fane.
Fane.
He slaps a man. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Let me say this to you. There's some people on here that agree with you. There's some people that disagree. That's just how we do things. That's how it is in life. I will say
I don't take it personal.
No, I don't either.
People, but go ahead.
I don't take it personal either. However,
no, not you.
No. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm saying that. Pardon me. What I'm saying is when you look at all the frustration that Will Smith must be going through because of all the last few years of his life. I mean, it hasn't just been the last few years. It's been a decade at least. No one thought that they were going to last in a marriage. Everybody's been talking about them being swingers and doing all this other stuff. And the only person that I've seen, now maybe it's only because I'm biased maybe, or I'm only paying attention to one thing. The only person I've ever seen on TV crying has been Will Smith due to whatever they're going through. I've seen him emotional 3 or 4 times on TV. I just seen him emotional again last night making an apology. Now, I didn't watch the show, but hell, do you really have to watch it? More people are watching the slap than they watch the actual show. So, you don't have to watch the Oscars to know what happened because you could just go on just hit your YouTube button and watch what happened. It'll pop up. Mm-hmm. But my point is this. Will has been under a different kind of pressure than most men have been under. I don't know that Will made the best decision last night, and I think if he could roll it back, he would probably do it the way I said. I ain't saying Will wouldn't be on TMZ. I'm not saying that he wouldn't take dude in the back and do something back there. I think as a publicist or somebody that was working with him in his corner, I would have to say that they would say that was the worst thing you could do. And here's the thing. It's Will Smith he's under the wing of Quincy Jones. Okay, Quincy Jones is probably the most powerful African American man in Hollywood, from music to film. Okay, and he'll be okay. Will be okay from this because of his support system. But I think if he had it all over to do again, he would do it different. I'm not saying he wouldn't put hands. I'm not saying that he would. I'm just saying that I think he would make a better choice, because we don't know how many strings was pushed or pulled to make that production of an all-black production team. Will Packard and his crew put that together. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm not criticizing them, but I will say one thing that I think they failed on. And that was when Will Smith went up and punched, when he slapped Chris Rock. I think that they should have done something on the productive end. They should have went to a commercial. They should have musiced out. And it should have been a situation that they didn't leave Chris Rock on the stage filtering like that, draining like that.
That's why I said he's a professional. That he somehow found a way to get to muddle through that. But let me say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If Will Smith doesn't get some very serious help, whatever it is, maybe I'm right about he's tired of Jada, maybe he's not, maybe something's bothering him. And if he doesn't get help really soon, blood's going to spill. And it's going to be really bad. Like I'm talking OJ in 1994 bad.
Well,
doesn't get help really really quickly.
Looking at his reaction, I understand what you're saying, but looking at how he attacked someone else for something like that versus what all the things he could have attacked somebody for saying, I think that he'll do harm to himself before he do harm, because he hurt himself last night. Like I said, blood's gonna spill. I'm not saying it'll be somebody else. Okay. The fact that he knows he's on the Oscars, on national television, and he walked up and slapped another grown man, another black celebrity. Probably a black celebrity. Chris Rock was a little famous before him anyway, so they probably knew each other coming up on some level. Dude who you was in the struggle with, you walked up there and slapped him like that, something's bothering him. And you better get help really soon. Okay.
Or blood's going to spill.
I do think that will.
Not saying somebody else's, but this is going to end up bad. If he doesn't get help, he probably needs to go away for a year or two and deal with that. And if the demon is getting rid of her or admitting he's really gay or whatever it is, he needs to come to clean with that, because it's going to get bad really soon.
Yeah.
The fact that he knows, because I did that.
Yeah.
I knew I had a lot to lose, and I did some dumb shit
anyway. Yeah. You get to that point.
You get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Got to that point. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to let out, and that's what he did. His next step is either help or fucking somebody up, either himself or somebody else.
I agree.
I promise you. That's all I got, B. It's always a pleasure, Black.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you, fam. All right, that was Fame. I mean, he had some points. He, hey, you may not agree with what Fame just said, but I was reading the comments. Some people agree with what his take is. I wasn't quite there. I don't think this is all Jada's fault. Even for the reasons of if Jada's all wrong. Even if Jada is, especially with the kids, that's not all on Jada. They produce those children together. They produce how those children are being raised. They produce how those kids make their decisions. That's the parents. That's why they are both in the home and they create what they create, and it's created together. And that's just how I feel about that. But now let me say this to you. How do I go about this one without sounding like I just feel like this. Fame had a point about this. I really think that Will really does need help. I think anyone going through what he's going through. See, a lot of people have this notion that money makes you better, that all you got to do is live in a $100 million or $12 million mansion and be worth $100 million, and you won't care about nothing. You won't care what people say. You'll just live. Well, you can only be rich and live rich for so long. You're still human. You're human before you're rich. Okay, so human traits are going to be traded by human. You're human. Money only can mask your pain for so long. You can only buy so many sports cars. You can only sit at the pool for so long. You can only go to certain places so long. You just, money doesn't cure all pain. All right. Let me take another call before. Hey, good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Wyatt.
Yes.
Hey, this the Queen.
Miss Myers. Mary.
Yes, it is.
Mary
Yes,
Myers.
it is.
Mary Myers. Can I
Yes,
bow down
yes,
one
yes.
time? Can I bow down, Queen?
You can do whatever because Chris
down.
Rock should have beat the brakes off of him.
So you with
He
Chris?
really should have. It was terrible.
You-
It was so terrible.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything you said was correct. You don't turn your back, slap somebody, and turn your back.
Nah, you don't do that.
And what kind of man slaps somebody? I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't understand that. I have talked down men that I have been in a relationship with that want to fight other men of saying things about me. And I'm like, we're not getting ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really understand that. Now, if a man put his hands on me, then that's another thing.
Right.
We getting ready to do him, but it's crazy. And that caller, he was in his feelings. I think he been in some kind of situation
Maybe.
like this before himself.
Maybe Miss Mary, check this out. See, that's what a lot of people got to get straight. People got to understand that we got to stop feeling a certain way because people have their opinions, because we don't know where everybody's been. We don't even know if Fame has been in a Will Smith situation or a relationship like a Will Smith. See, what a lot of people don't know, Miss Mary, is there's more abuse in relationships than just physical. There's a mental manipulation abuse that goes on. And some people may say that Will Smith is in a manipulative, relationship. And I mean, an abusive relationship, manipulative, abusive relationship, because some of the things that has been put on the red table in other places, most men wouldn't deal with publicly, let alone in private. We wouldn't deal with it.
Right. I agree. He was in his feelings. And I'm just waiting for the blowback because these comedians are getting ready to let him have it. They're getting ready to let him have it.
Who?
Him and Jada both.
The who? Say that again.
The comedians.
Oh, yeah.
Rock fellow comedians.
Yes, ma'am.
They get the clown on stage.
Yeah, I agree. And now let's see if Will
about all kind of people, wives. They always talking about Hillary Clinton and you know what I'm saying, and whoever else.
Yeah.
So what they, and then there was other comedians there, and especially the women. They were talking about people that were in the audience.
Yeah, but Miss Mary, let me ask you a question though. You seen it or you know the situation. Let me ask you this. Do you think, in your opinion, that Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's hair knowing that she had a hair condition, a disease? Do you think that Chris Rock did that intentionally?
No, I don't believe he knew. I really don't.
Okay.
And he came out saying, I love you, Jada. Then he cracked the joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it really wasn't malicious. It was really paying homage to her haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She could have used that to get the next G.I. Jane position if she would have, like she had some sense and not, give the okay for her husband up there and clown. They had already boycotted the Oscars before. So you come back and now all of this shenanigans going, it makes black people look bad. It really does.
Right.
It really does.
Right.
It's a shame. I had one of my good girlfriends from the DMV call me. She was seeing my post on Facebook and she was so upset, This lady makes 60 years, and she was like, I was so mad. She said, was Bill Packer producing it? I mean, it was crazy. It really was. And I looked at Tyler Perry and Denzel to go consoling Will after that. Somebody should have went up there and talked to
Chris Rock.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
well,
definitely.
I think.
Where was security? I
mean, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Who expects It's like a Kanye West moment. I mean, even if you got security in the building and they standing right by the stage, which one of them security guards is gonna stop Kanye or gonna stop Will Smith from going up to the stage? They're not gonna stop him. Now you and I walk up there, hey bro, yeah, they not letting you up there. But the security thing comes in where if those guys would have start fighting, which I think Will knew they wasn't gonna start fighting. But let's just say, for instance, Will smacked him like he did and turned his back, and then here come Chris Rock running down the stage and do a drop kick on his ass and kick him in his back, and now they down on the ground rustling and tumbling. I think security would have jumped in that time. But I don't think anybody's seen this coming, including Chris Rock. No one's seen this coming.
No, he didn't see it coming. And he played it off good. And it really wasn't that hard slap, because Chris turned his face over real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, really?
And he had his mouth open. I'm wondering why it wasn't no blood. Because usually, and I'm no expert at slapping, okay? But Miss Mary, check this out. You got your mouth open. Your teeth is standing right there, and why can't I'm surprised that he didn't bite his tongue or bite his lip and there was some blood or something. I ain't trying to get all detailed into it like that, but I'm just saying it's amazing how he ate that shot.
You're ate an expert that because you're a fighting promoter, right?
Right, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why they keep mouthpieces in their mouth, because contact to the mouth like that. You don't want the blood, the biting on your tongue and the biting of your lips. You don't want the cracked teeth. And it's a wonder none of that happened. I don't care if it was a slap or a punch. That type of impact to knock your body off to the side like that, there could have been some damage to the face. This man's face wasn't even red. And I know he's a little darker skinned brother.
I agree with you. It wasn't even red.
No, it wasn't even red.
That was some bitch stuff for real.
Yeah.
It was really terrible.
Miss Mary, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
I'm
just playing, Queen. You hear how I talk on here.
Any kind of man that's gonna slap a man. If a man that I knew was with me and slapped another man, I would be like, oh, brother, I gotta go.
Well, there used to be some things that was said about Will Smith. I don't hear that talk now. See, Will heard all of that, how feminine he is and how he go both ways. I heard all of that shit before, just floating in the air. I don't follow celebrities, but I know the rumors about them because, you can just hear it on YouTube or whatever. And you can't tell me that there hasn't been talk about them swinging and Will going both ways and Jada going both ways and all of that. And a lot of people have been talking about how Will Smith had feminine tendencies, and this slap don't help.
And we saw it. So we saw his feminine.
It don't help. I'm not saying that he's feminine. I'm just saying that a slap don't help. I can tell you this: if one of my uncles or my cousins, my male cousins or my uncles or anybody I grew up with that was keeping me in check ever slapped my ass, he's probably somebody's friend right now. That's all I'm saying. I never got that. They would punch me in my chest. Or maybe slap me upside the back of my head, like, get your ass in there or something. You know what I'm saying? But we left the slapping for the females in our family. That's who slaps.
I agree.
That's
I
who
agree.
slaps.
I was looking for some LGBTQ plus people on your post to say something, because real men don't slap nobody.
Right.
Well, I'm seeing all these people. I've gotten so much stuff on my Facebook page because people are talking about, you want a man who's going to protect you. I don't want no man that's gonna slap nobody. I really don't.
Miss Mary, you look like I've seen you on your post, and you like to do things in life. You vacation, you do things. You the true queen that you are, you are a queen, and I have to take your word. See, I like women that tell the truth about it. And you just said it, like, I don't want no man. Now, here's what I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing a lot of women say things like, this is the type of man I want. I want a man that's going to defend my honor. Now, there's a way to defend a woman's honor. I've been through that with my wife before, where a situation had happened. We had some movers move some stuff at the house. And this young dude, could have been about 30, 32, 33 years old, was the head of the truck of the movers. And we weren't happy with their services. And this was a little young brother out of Chicago who had a nice little crew right here working for us and doing blah, blah, blah. They did a horrible job, but I wanted to hire us. You feel me? I wanted to hire us, and I did everything I could do. They clocked me. They clocked me. They took me up top on the price and did a horrible job. And then when I checked them at the end, they said something, and my wife said something, and then dude said something to my wife. Now, am I about to fight all these dudes out here in my yard, in my brand new spot? You know what I'm saying? I just bought the house. Am I about to fight these dudes, or am I about to tell dude, come on around here to this corner, let me holler at you real fast? Because my wife is the type that she don't do the insults real well. So if you say something to her, she gonna say something, then she gonna look at me to get at it, to jump at it. Like, it's on me now. I gotta take care of this shit. You feel what I'm saying? So look, all I'm saying to you, you gotta pick and choose your battles. You gotta be more methodical. And if we handle things a little bit different, maybe we won't have them situations that we seeing in Target and at Walmart and at Kroger's and all this shooting and shit that we seeing each other go through. I'm not saying that Will shouldn't have defended his wife. I'm just saying there's a way that we have to do it. And there's
I think as a woman, I've been in situations like I said, and I will play down stuff because I don't want my man in no confrontation over no nothing. Because I don't care about no words. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And I have been in where I've had a man took the man in the bathroom, was getting ready to do him, and I went in there. I was like, you know, he just said something. It ain't worth it. That's what a real woman's gonna say.
I understand.
It's not worth it. They're not gonna promote you defending them over some BS.
I understand.
Now, if a man tapped me on my behind, and my kid's father, he hit him one time and knocked him out. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't slap him, did he?
To be arguing over some, you know, a joke.
Yeah, Miss Mary.
You know,
he didn't slap him, did he? He punched him.
He punched him. He knocked him out. He was cold out. One punch out.
I got you.
We don't do no. I'm not getting ready to date no man that slaps. I'm not getting ready to do it. I'm just not going to do that.
I understand. I understand. There's some older gentlemen that believe that the slap is appropriate because it's a level of disrespect to another man when you slap them. Just like they say if you spit on somebody or slap them or whatever, you know, it's a different level of respect. I think differently. That's just me. I'm not condoning either way. I don't think you should slap or punch anybody in this particular case. I think we would have went in the back and we would have handled it the way I wanted to handle it. But I just still think if I'm going to throw a punch, if I'm going to throw a blow, it's not going to be an open hand blow. I'm not going to try to smack you and embarrass you. If I got it in me to punch you, I'm probably coming with a follow-up. So that's why I don't need to be in front of all those people like that. I don't need to do it in front of them. We should have, you know, if Will felt that much pain for what was done, I think he should have went all out. I think he should have beat his ass. That's what I think. And if you don't beat his ass,
he felt that pain. He felt his wife give him a look.
He felt like he better do something. I think you're right.
He wanted some peace in his household.
There you go.
She probably didn't put him on notice.
There you go, Miss Mary.
It was right there.
Tell it.
He was laughing.
Tell it.
He looked at Jada and she was rolling her eyes. So he was like,
Miss Mary,
I guess this will be today.
Miss Mary, that's the most powerful thing that's been said. Will wanted peace. Now, I don't know if that peace meant I'm about to set this example and this is going to shut everybody up, or he wanted peace in his household. And what I mean by that is I better do something because she done looked at me crazy and I ain't going to get no sleep tonight. And this shit, she going to be on this shit for the next 5 years of my life.
Right.
And some men know what I'm talking about. There's some men out there that know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, there's, of course, some men that are validating the slap and think that it was the right thing to do. And I get it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have done it. I just wouldn't have done it like that. And there's some people that's like, well, I would have, and I don't care. And them the same motherfuckers that need bond money every once in a while. I'm just saying. That's the same dude that came out and shot the gun with a baby in his hand because his woman then went home and said some shit. And that all may not have been necessary. But I need to figure out if Chris Rock knew the situation with Jada before he made that type of move or made that kind of joke on Will and Jada. I just want to know. If he says he doesn't know,
know. You could tell he didn't know. He came out and said, I love you, Jada, and did a joke.
Yeah, I think it
was so unintentional. You know?
Okay, Miss Mary.
It really was.
Okay.
But it's a good show.
Thank you, Miss Mary.
Love and respect, my king.
Thank you, babe. I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you. Have a good day. Uh-oh, I cut her off a little too soon. I'm sorry, guys. I know y'all thinking that I'm on some different shit. I'm trying to make it where we're a little better. I can't get on here and condone what Will did. I understand what Will did. I can't condone what Will did because I couldn't tell a kid to do that. I couldn't teach I can't teach a young man to have that reaction. If that happened to at a graduation or at something at a school and a kid went up there and did that to someone, I think we would probably be telling them, you got to handle yourself different than that. Something needs to be done. And just because that other person was wrong, you still didn't have to commence to doing that. I think that's how we would explain it as an adult. And I think what's not fair is Will's life being in front of everyone. I think with Will's life being in front of everybody, his frustrations is going to fall on everybody. And I don't even want to say the easiest target, because for all I know, if it was Dwayne Rock who read the joke, said the same thing, Will might have went up there and smacked the shit out of him too. I can't tell you that he wouldn't have, but I do think that he finally found the right opportunity to get mad and show the world I ain't no punk. That's what I think happened. Let's take another call. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who is this?
Hello, Wyatt. This is Alicia Williams.
Hey, Miss Williams. What's good, sis?
Hey, brother. Nothing much. Just getting in from work.
Okay. Was you late? Was you frying, dying, and laying? Was you frying and dying and laying their hairs to the side?
No frying. I was coloring.
Okay. That's yes, what's up.
Sir. Yes, sir. You been okay?
I'm holding on, sis. I'm trying to get through this Chris Rock and Will Smith thing. I hate to see the brothers at it like that. I really do.
Me too.
I hate to see it.
That was like the most hurtful part of it. Like, it was two black men. But I think one of the ladies was saying, like, how did he get past security? The Oscar, he walked straight up there, he slapped him, and walked back to his seat, said what he said, and nobody moved. Nobody shifted. And everybody thought that it wasn't real, like it was a script or something.
Yeah.
So I think it was because of the high respect that they have for both black men, Chris Rock and Will Smith. But I just felt like it was a weak moment for Will. And men have those issues, and it's hard for a man to sit there and take that amount of disrespect towards your wife at a moment that he's there for an award.
But do you think, sis, hold on. Do you think that what Chris Rock said offended Will, or it offended his wife? Because do you really think that Will caught on to what was said and he felt a certain way, or did Will actually understand what was being said?
The answer to your question, I think the disrespect was to Jada, but I think Jada's her energy that she gave caused Will to react. Because you're married, so you know when your wife is upset. You know it. You'll know it before somebody else will know it.
For sure.
Of how uncomfortable she gets.
For sure.
And I think even when I watched it, I could see Jada instant reaction, and Will felt as if you're not about to do that to my family. A man is a protector. And when you're doing that in front of a man, like, you have to understand reactions happen, whether they're good or bad. Because I think Will even laughed it off at first, but he kept getting into it. And then that's when Will was like, okay, I'm about to come up here and slap you. It's not funny. I don't think it's funny. I don't condone violence either. But I think things need to be stopped of digging into people's families and respect other people for whatever.
Wait a minute, sis. Wait a minute, sis. Now, here's where I agree with you. But here's what I got to disagree with when you make that statement of people need to stop. And when you say digging in people's lives, you do realize that Jada has put their life on full blast at a red table.
They both have on red table.
Yeah, but that's Jada's thing. That's Jada's thing.
Red table talk is when she invites people on there for that type of topic, for a specific topic. Even when she invited her husband, you have to accept the invite. It's not to make fun of. She's not making fun of anybody. It's real serious red table talk. I even have talks to my table. When I have an issue, we can go to the table and we deal with it. So I just think it was that kind of thing where Will knows what type of issues this woman has on a daily. Excuse my puppy. On a daily, and he felt like, oh no, this is not going well. It's going to hurt her feelings, and he felt like he needed to be a protector for that.
I understand. I think he took this out on Chris Rock purposely in front of, I really think, I don't think that he thought this out. Okay. I mean,
I think it may have shocked Will as well. That's why he was crying. And then it could have been an issue that I did it to another brother. Like they both, even when Chris spoke, he said, I won't say another word about it. After, he told him, keep my wife's name out your mouth. He said, okay, I will.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't had no choice, because if he would have said, I think if Chris Rock would have said, I think if Chris Rock would have said anything other than that, Will might have jumped his ass back up there and slapped him one more again. But I'm just saying, I think Ricky Smiley said it the best. I think him and I are on the same page when it comes down to what I would have done if I was Will, and that is I would have waited for the commercial or whatever break and watched the talent come off, which would have been Chris Rock at the time. I would have met his ass in the back, and I would have gave him an opportunity to say what he said. Maybe he didn't know. I mean, these people know each other. Chris Rock and this family, he know them to the point where it's like, I don't see him purposely disrespecting Jada like that. This is not like Kanye West and him saying something about Kim Kardashian because everybody says something about Kim Kardashian. Everybody don't say that type of nasty shit about Jada Smith, or Jada Pinkett Smith. Even if you don't care for her, whatever. I don't ever remember Jada getting disrespected by the culture. I've never seen her get disrespected and be opened up to be able, no black comedian can come on and sit in front of an open room and talk bad about Jada Smith and everybody gonna be cool with that. I don't think
until she had the entanglement. I mean,
that's different. They talked about that situation.
They were separated, and something they all agreed.
And they were talking about that situation, but nobody was talking about how bad her movies were. Nobody was talking about she was overpaid, or they were never talking about her a druggie, or she was this or she was. Nobody ever opened up any cans of that type of shit. You see what I'm saying? So why would Chris Rock all of a sudden? I think what he was saying, in a sense, I'm not making up an excuse for him. I think where he was at with it, if it was to be, like he said, this was a G.I. Jane joke. We ain't seen a G.I. Jane in 2 decades, okay? The movie. But Jada has the haircut, and I think what he was trying to say is, you fit the role. And if you don't know that she has a hair condition, that she just cut her hair that way, and that's how she wanted her hair for the style or the look, then you would think that joke is appropriate. You would think that...
Well, no, I would agree with any other man. But Chris Rock knows about black hair. He made a whole documentary about black hair and alopecia, the tension, the hair weaves, and all that. And she spoke very openly on why she cut her hair.
Yeah, but sis, everybody don't know. I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm just trying to let you know.
It's okay.
And just because I don't know, I can't speak for everybody that didn't know. But I'm listening to a lot of stars who are out in the world. Now, you got to understand, them stars speak on platforms. And a lot of those stars don't pay attention to them platforms. Those platforms aren't for the stars to watch, because they know how those places are exaggerative. They don't tell the truth. They're clickbait places, so they don't pay attention to it. So depending on where I didn't know Jada had a hair condition. Ricky Smiley didn't know she had a condition. You're in the hair business, so you may have seen her talk about this on a YouTube situation that has something to do with hair one day or something. And just because, just because Chris Rock did a movie about hair, that means he may have done research about hair, but that does not mean he knew her hair condition. He didn't know that she had a bald head because of some type of disease. He may not have known that, and I don't think people are clearly thinking about that. I think they're just looking at what he said, listened to what he said, and took the joke into a content that would make sense if you knew. If he knew she had a hair condition, that's just like calling a kid that you can clearly see has Down syndrome, and you call and you start talking about Jerry's kids and making making comments and making like funny jokes about the Down syndrome kids. That would be so offbeat, because you clearly see they have Down syndrome, but you can't look at Jada and clearly see that she has a hair problem. You could say she cut her hair down. Maybe this is what she likes. Maybe she went through a situation, because you know some ladies, you in the hair business, you know some ladies have destroyed their hair with all them perms and some of them damn colorings and all that shit, and they don't have no choice but to cut it all off. That's what they do. And they wear wigs, or they do. And we think Jada is so confident in herself that she can rock a bald head and it not hurt her feelings or nothing. So when you write a joke, or if you listening to, if the writers write a joke and Chris Rock has to say it, okay, he may have seen the joke and he may have said, oh, okay, I get it. And if he knew that Jada's hair was like that, I, number one, don't think he would have wrote a joke like that. Number two, I don't think he would have read the joke if he knew she had he had an issue. I think he would have went to the writers and said, I can't say this shit. They're my folks. These my folks. I can't say that. And I don't think he stood up at night or was in the dressing room and wrote a joke because she had a hair condition.
Knew about, I can't confirm whether he did or he didn't know about alopecia, strictly to Jada. But I can say that when you lead a comment to say, Jada, I love you, but, and then you make her the joke, that's the issue. That's a direct joke on Jada. So why would you read a joke like that if you did not do any type of research? Like, Chris Rock is a very intelligent man. He's a comedian, but he's very smart. You know, even the documentary he did on here was very, very accurate, very accurate. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I can fully believe that he didn't know about her condition.
Sis,
okay.
that one hard, babe. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that the guy has never done anything to hurt us as a culture. He's never clowned on another black man on a come up. He said some things in 2016 that Will probably felt a certain way about, and that was when they boycotted the Oscars or Grammys. It was the Oscars in 2016. When they boycotted that, he made a comment and he said something that a lot of people laughed at about Will Smith. And he said something about, how can Jada and Will, how could they possibly boycott the Oscars? I know Jada's not nominated, but Will is. And then he said some things like, he said this, he said, how could Will make $20 million for Wild Wild West? Now, how many of us like Wild Wild West? I didn't like the movie. Did Will get overpaid for that? It was a joke that the movie didn't do numbers, but Will still got his 20 million. Will didn't say nothing about it. He wasn't in his feelings about it. But today you hear that joke and you want to affiliate it with this situation? No, you can't put those two together, because Will didn't have a problem when he said it. He probably laughed all the way to the bank on that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, they probably had things done, but I think Will just know how to do his things in order. And in our opinion, we were talking about it in the salon random, where we were looking at him, that some of the kids looked at him. I'm talking about the teenagers. They were looking at him how we looked at Bill Cosby. And I asked the girl, I was like, so you think he was like the next American Dad? And it was like, yeah, we didn't see him do any wrong until this issue come out with him and Jada, you know, them at the Red Table Talk. Nobody knew that they had these issues. They look like the perfect family. So I just believe that they were very good at disclosing, like keeping things where they should be, which is private. But with this issue, I think Jada was so openly hurt by the alopecia. And I can tell you that there are many women, more than what you see, sit in that chair and cry. I mean, tears.
Yeah, I believe that.
Get an appointment. Some of them, like I do a young lady. She's beautiful, but she will not she's on TV every day at the same time, every day in the city of Cincinnati, but she will not allow me to do her hair with anybody else in the shop. Due to that reason.
I get it.
And it's heartbreaking.
It's
heartbreaking. And I can really sit in touch. I shared a couple posts on my page today of a couple young ladies that I know that deal with losing their eyebrows, losing their hair, a lot of things going on with women, that they look at themselves and probably more harder on themselves than what somebody else is looking at. But it's just a personal thing. And as a husband, you have to show empathy to that, you know, and understand that and go through those motions with your wife. And if he knows like how hard she hurts at home on the daily by herself, you know, not in the public eye, then I could see how his but and got pushed. But I can't agree with. I think I read in one of your comments, not yours, but in the comment section, that Jada wanted that to happen and put pressure on him. I don't believe that. I don't. A wife would say, "Take care of this nigga or it's on."
Well,
I
let me.
don't
Can I
believe
say
that.
something to you, sis? Can I say something? And this,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get some
Yeah,
push.
yeah.
I'm gonna get some pushback for this.
Okay.
Somebody made a comment. Excuse me. Someone made a comment in a group chat of some sort. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it's in our chat or somewhere out in Facebook space or whatever. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
made a comment, and then I heard him say it on the radio as well. I heard him say that Jada has been making Will look like a fool for many years. I mean, she's put him in a position where he's been crying. And, when they got to talking about this, did the world really need to know about this entanglement situation? Did the world need to know to a point where did anybody really give it? See, I'm not that inquiring. I don't need for them to be sitting at a red table and she's sitting back talking about the nights and the days that she was spending and how she was alone. And Will is sitting there soaking it up. I don't know a man that can sit there. And you've seen his reaction. You've seen his reaction. I don't know a man that can actually sit there and take that unless he has a situation where his wife is running shit. If his wife is running shit, he'll sit there and take
Oh
what.
man,
Yeah, I know, it's deep, ain't it? I'm telling you that
no.
men get manipulated, and y'all just don't know it. I mean, some of you do it because y'all are great at it, but some men take mental. Y'all deal with a lot of physical abuse and mental from men, but a lot of men are mentally abused by their women
Oh.
manipulatively. That's the number. I don't have the stats to be able to stand on saying that's the number one
Mm-hmm.
abuse of men. I
Mm-hmm.
can't say
Mm-hmm.
that, but I can say that happy home, happy wife, happy home shit. That's another part of that manipulation
I
thing.
could see that. I could see that scenario playing out in a relationship where the woman is head honcho, the money of the house, things like that. But in Jada and Will's situation, I don't think so. I think Will does make the rules in that
I
household,
don't think
and
so.
Jada put her lifestyle. I mean, it was on the Red Table Talk. They talked about it.
I don't care
It
what
was
they
just that
say.
he was. It was
Sorry, sis.
he was hurt. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a bad thing of when we having a conversation. I just think it's me and you talking, and I don't. I'm sitting here like you sitting right here with me, and these microphones and stuff don't pick up like that. But what I'm saying is this: when you say you think Will is the head of the household,
I do.
some of the things that I'm seeing that's coming out of that camp don't show me that. I think he's the head of the household when it comes to income. That's obvious. They're $400 million
No,
deep.
she changed her life. She was going to leave Will because she felt like Will was so focused on him, and he told that story.
Yeah,
He was thinking about him, and he almost lost his wife because he was building his family of how he thought it should be, but it was leaving her and her dreams out. And that's something. And
see,
even if so, who are we to judge another marriage?
I
Some
agree.
marriages are different. Like they're different and they're ran different and they're successful being ran in that order.
I
You
agree.
know.
No,
So
I
I
I
just
agree.
can't, say like, oh, that's wrong if Jada's. But I think Will is a man. I believe he is a man. He's a man that's growing in Hollywood as well, but he's holding his family down. And you don't see that. You don't
Wait a
see
minute,
that. That's
holding
his
them down like
Denzel.
what kind of way?
That's, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was asking you a question. When you say Will is holding his family down, you mean like how we
I
saying it
do.
on the street, like he holding it down, like keeping shit together? Or are you talking about he holding them
No,
down from
no, no,
prospering?
no, no. I just feel like mentally, I feel like mentally and physically, like he represents health wise for the black family. He lets his kids have their own identity to form to what they want to be and not what the world think that they should be. I think he upholds his wife as it's hard because I am a woman. Well, you know me. I'm a woman that I'm not as private as what people think I should be. But with being open, I see that I help more women that way than to not speak at all. So what I'm saying is he allows her space to be herself. Even though she's married to him, he still allows her to have her own identity instead of being, oh, that's Will's wife. We
Okay.
understand this is Jada.
Okay, but I think I personally think that a lot of people, I don't think this, but I think that a lot of people believe that Jada Pinkett Smith is a narcissist. And I think a lot of people say that since she's not the star, that she has made life somewhat of a living hell for Will. Now, I can't agree with that because I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
I've not just one person, I've seen several people, and I'll say one specifically that has said Will made their life a living hell. And he wasn't a nice guy. He was an asshole. And if he had your career in his hands, he could destroy it if he wanted to. And he had Quincy Jones and all them guys behind him. And if you remember the dark-skinned, beautiful queen, the dark-skinned, beautiful queen of Miss, what was it?
Vivian? Was it Vivian?
Yeah.
Aunt
Viv on The Fresh Prince. She was very adamant about how much of an asshole Will Smith was to her and
But
how he was to other people.
Young he was with so much power.
Yeah. Okay.
Young. She
But
didn't say the man that he was. She said the little boy.
Yeah.
She was very specific.
Yeah.
As a woman, you pick up on that. Like, yeah, he was very immature. They gave him too much reign, too fast. But he also spoke on that. And guess what he did? He apologized and said, I was wrong.
Yeah, 40 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but what has he been doing for the last 30, 40 years? Has he been better, or did he just get better once he understood, a year ago? So what have you been doing for the last 30 years, 35 years? How much, how hard have you been? Yeah. There's different things that make us grow, though, sis.
Yeah,
Money don't make you grow. It's circumstances and situations in your life. I keep trying to tell people always think somebody that hit the lottery, they won $3 million, you call them successful. I'm telling you, money don't make you successful. It's how you get your money that makes you successful. It's the indoors.
I'm not saying financially. He had to grow with his family. He had to learn how to become a father.
Right.
He had to, not only to his son, but to his daughter as well. His daughter spoke about being not open with her father. They had to work on that relationship, and she appreciates her relationship now with her father than she did when she was younger, because he felt like she needed to do this, and that. But she started rebelling against him. He couldn't take it. So Will lost control in that manner, but then he started opening up and growing as a man, growing as a father. It's different. It's different. You could be married all day, but when you're involving kids, you have to be a man to everyone in the household. And that's a difficult job. So I'm going to give Will credit for his changes, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I don't believe Jada controls him. I believe the family, he decided to say, okay, let me become the man to you all individually so I could be a better person, a better leader of the house.
Okay. I buy that.
4 children. I do not parent my children the same because it won't work for all of them.
I get it.
One of them is pretty tough,
Right.
But we did it, but I couldn't parent the tough one the same way that I did the one that always followed the rules. It's a little different, but I just believe his growth is different. And then once you get to a certain area where you're like, okay, I did it, even after everything that's been said, we don't know everything that goes on in their life. Everything's been said, everything's been done. When it's time for you to sit there and get rewarded for a movie that you just played in and probably gave it your all, and then somebody decides to take that time for you and talk about your wife, it's a problem.
I get it.
And I think that Chris Rock seen that after the slap. Like, you know what? This was foul.
Yeah. There's no doubt that he definitely thinks it's foul after looking at the circumstances. that's why I think I think he's a very smart man. You don't make it that far just by being some jokehead class clown. You do research, but you don't catch everything in your research. And the simple fact that he said G.I. Jane, and I mean, all that, you can't tell me that this man would have, this is my personal opinion. I don't think that Chris Rock has the malice in him to attack Will and Jada Smith being the king and queen of of Hollywood, Black Hollywood at that. Okay, I just don't think he attacks them. If it was Kanye and Kim Kardashian, I might think he would throw a stone at that. I would think he might take a shot at that. But how do you attack clean cut Will Smith, good guy. How do you attack him and take and push it on the, like that's attacking the culture? Will Smith don't get in trouble. Will Smith is a family oriented man. Will Smith is a good guy to everybody. I don't see why Chris Rock would say something to him or would do something intentionally to disrespect them. I don't think I think the joke was bad anyway. Nobody even remembers
that part. See, that's what I was like, because your personal opinion, it can be that way. It can be that way. That's a personal opinion. Nobody knows for a fact that he knew. But I'm tired of black hair being the butt of a joke. I've spoke about it many times. It's not a joke. It shouldn't be brought up in a workplace. I'm tired. Now, that's my personal statement. I'm tired. There's nothing funny about a black woman's hair, her skin color, how big her lips are, how big she is, how small she is. There's nothing funny about that. It's not, we're past that. And how in the world can we ask and demand for white people to stop doing it when we're doing it?
Well,
Chris
sis,
Rock is very intelligent, and that's what's making it hard for me to believe your opinion, because it sounds good.
I get it, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Based on what you just said, that can open up a whole nother can of worms for me. But I'll say this to you. I don't think that any of us are, I don't think black women are nowhere near ashamed, or if you want to say that, I don't think they're as conscious or ashamed or any of that shit of those things that you just mentioned anymore, because now you got people taking fat out of the side of their heads and shit, putting it in their ass. You got women taking fat out of their stomachs and putting it in their lips and shit like that. Ass. I mean, I think that we have learned that more people want to be like what we thought was bad or what we were taught to be bad. You understand? So I'm so far distanced from that bullshit. People spending $5,000 and $10,000 on getting their bodies to look like a black queen out here. And then some of our black queens are just enhancing.
Well, and then you get comments of, oh, the white women are taking over. They making these black women look. It's like the black women are just the tail end of the joke all the time. And that's what my opinion. I don't believe Chris Rock, whoever wrote the joke, how could you believe that was humor because she rocked a bald head?
Well, you got to understand. Here's another content. You got to look at it like this, sis. G.I. Jane, was she a comic? Was G.I. Jane a poison? Was G.I. Jane somebody?
Demi Moore?
Yes.
Demi Moore, whatever.
Yes. Now keep in mind who.
And the second part of that, Randall, this young lady mess with a younger man, it could be took it so much, so everybody's flipping it, right? She messed with a younger man, cheated on her husband to be with a younger man. Correct?
Not just that. It was their child's friend.
Oh, okay.
Somebody that was coming in the house.
It was you saying Demi Moore? That was her spouse friend?
Oh no! I'm sorry. I thought you meant Jada. My apologies. I missed
I'm
it.
talking about Demi Moore.
Okay.
She cheated on her husband with that movie. Cheated on her for a younger man.
That one dude that play in the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when he made the statement for G.I. Jane 2, I saw two different things going on. I did see the alopecia joke, and I saw, oh my gosh, you're bringing up this entanglement. See,
sis, I'm gonna be honest with you. You might not. You hear me out before you fall on me or crash down on me. But I think you're seeing it in a cynical kind of way, because I don't think that they were saying G.I. Jane because the woman, Demi Moore, had a relationship with a young dude. I don't think it was that. I think it was the haircut. Now that's why I get to the point of if Chris Rock knew that Jada had a hair condition, I don't think the joke would have been said. Okay, I think where he was going with it is your next movie role will be G.I. Jane. You need to do that one based on your haircut. I don't think it had anything to do with Demi Moore, the actress, or Demi Moore, the private person. I think it was Demi Moore who played G.I. Jane, who was a strong female in the military and fought off shit and was a hero.
Jokes, comedians have an underlying joke.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm about to answer that underlying joke.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Some may not agree with me. Here's the problem. Jada is not being in it. She's not playing in shit. Okay. In other words, he was saying we got the perfect role for you based on your haircut. We know you ain't been in shit. Let me just be cynical a little bit. G.I. Jane ain't been out in 20 years. Come on out and get this release. You got that role. I'm thinking he's trying to be funny because she ain't got no roles in a while, but you suitable for G.I. Jane because of your haircut. That's what I'm thinking he's saying. That's just my opinion. I don't think
I can see it that way. But also, it's like, okay, you have no shame for what this black woman went through, with whether she was black or white, because alopecia, it goes for
don't have a color.
Races,
it don't have a color.
Know, yeah, but even with her, he may not have had a clue. But then you're referencing her to a woman that cheated on her husband with a younger man. So they both could be like, whoa, on edge. So you don't know why Will really slapped him. He just knew he needed to take up for his wife. But I will say again, I do not believe that Jada wanted him to react in that way, because I think that really truly embarrassed her.
I don't think so.
Will's behavior.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Jada got exactly what she wanted. That's my opinion. I think she.
Wow. I don't think so.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because a man that would jump up like that and go attack and literally attack a man, whether he jumped on him or just smacked him or whatever, he had this pre-notion in his mind that if I don't do something, she gonna feel a certain way. They didn't had conversations already. And listen, sis, I'm married. There's been conversations about how to handle shit. There's been situations in my personal life where when we were somewhere, I felt like I got treated a certain way and my wife may not have said something. And then I said something to her a week or something later, like, well, why didn't you say something to that lady? Because you know I can't say shit to her. Why didn't you say something? And this was many moons and years ago.
Yeah,
but I remember it. And there's been times that I felt like maybe she should have stepped in and said something, and then it came up later and we resolved the issue. But then there was other times that maybe I should have said something and I didn't say something, but I resolve issues the way I resolve issues. See, I'm not going to be calling mama and them trying to get bond money because of what somebody said.
Have you ever been in a situation where your wife was like, why did you do that? What, because I do it. Like, no, don't do that, because
yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Like, he may have jumped without her wanting him to jump. Like,
let me tell you something.
I believe he got the temperature from her because I saw it.
Yeah.
I see she was upset.
You know what?
I saw it myself, and I'm not married to her.
Sis.
So I know he felt it. He felt the pressure. But women also have a way of like, hey, don't do it. Just trying to grab.
Yeah, but sis, here's something what a lot of people don't understand. They had the mics cut on, and you can hear the reaction. You can see Will walking up there. The mics were on, okay? And you didn't hear one time, or you didn't see Jada one time get up and try to stop Will from going up there. You didn't hear her.
But you didn't see Beyonce either when her sister Solange was attacking Jay-Z. You didn't hear her say, stop, get off. She just stood there. So that's two situations. That's two different situations. You can't compare them. No, this was a situation that Jay-Z. That was a current situation with Jay-Z and his wife, and his sister-in-law felt a certain way because he felt like her brother-in-law, which was Jay-Z, was being disrespectful. And I see that all the time. I see sisters hitting the brother-in-law. I see that. You ain't gonna treat my sister like that. I see that. That's a whole different. That's another beast. I was just referring to Beyonce as his wife. She did not scream, push, break up.
We don't know.
She kept her composure.
We don't know because it was an elevator camera that had no microphone. So she could have been saying, Savon, whatever her name is, Salon, sit your ass down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say it. Shut up, girl. Don't worry about it. We don't know. All we seen was a black and white video of Jay-Z getting hit by Salon. We don't know what was being said.
Did not interrupt.
Well, she didn't jump in, if that's what you mean. She didn't jump in, but you don't know what she said. But what what we do know is Jada didn't say, Will, get your ass back here. Will, don't go up there. Will, don't do. No, because we would have heard that. We heard all the other shit that was coming from the crowd. Once he went and sat down, the microphones was on. She got the reaction. No, nobody. Listen, let me tell you something. I can guarantee.
When I saw him walking, I did not expect Will to smack Chris. It's not funny, but I didn't.
No, nobody expected it
at all.
Listen, if Chris Rock expected it, he probably would have ran out of the way. He probably would have put his hands up. He probably would have guarded his face.
He said, "Can y'all believe this?" He said, "Wow, I just got smacked the shit from Will Smith on national television."
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey,
he was so shocked.
Yeah, that's what happens if here's the thing. I would agree with all of the violence. I'm gonna be honest with you. I will roll back all my opinions. I will roll back everything that I say. If Chris Rock come out tomorrow with a statement and says, damn, y'all, you know what? Them my people. I knew better than to say that shit. I knew what she had. Hell, I sent her flowers when I found out what her condition was a year ago, 2 years ago. I knew she had that hair condition. I shouldn't have said that shit. I would respect him if he said that, but I would also understand that if Will knew that Chris knew the condition of his wife, I would agree with Will Smith and everything that he did because Nick Bro, you knew. But me from the outside, from the outside looking in, from the outside,
why would he carry on at any human being?
No, sis. I'm trying to tell you, we are. Wait a minute,
Randall.
Go ahead,
What
babe.
I'm saying is he continued with the show as a job. As a job, he didn't show. Everybody was like, "Oh, he didn't even, stop. He take a break. Needed some water." No, because
it was live TV. It was live TV, and let me tell you how you're.
But live or not, that man carried on
right
as if nothing happened.
That's what professionals do, sis.
That lets me know somebody put you up to this.
No, sis, you got it wrong. Let me tell you what it says to me. Let me say, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think your opinion is different than my opinion. Here's what I say. Well, you ain't heard mine yet on this one because I'm going to make a different point on it. I think when you say that somebody put him up to it and he kept going on, it's live TV, number one. He's being a professional. Number two, I think that if you really think about the innocence of what he did, it's like this. If you knew you was doing something wrong and that shit happened, it would be hard to keep going. It would be hard because you know you effed up. You know what you did. But this man was like, it's a G.I. Jane joke. He didn't understand because I'm telling you right now, I will make a bet with someone that if Chris Rock comes out with a statement, he's going to stick with it was a G.I. Jane joke.
But don't you prep for a show like this?
Hold on.
You prep.
Yes, you do. You do, but you don't prep to the, you don't prep to the audience, sis.
You wrote a joke and didn't do any type of research.
Listen, sis, it don't always work like that. That ain't all of the that might not have been, maybe that slipped through the cracks, that portion of the research. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Giving Chris passes.
I'm not giving him a pass. I'm giving us another angle to look at this. I'm trying to say to you, you're saying that Chris Rock knew. Do you know that Chris Rock knew? Or are you assuming?
I believe he may have known because he's been involved in the Black hair movement.
But how much has Jada and her kids, how many of them have normal haircuts running around here these days? How many of them are doing the abstract stuff that's going on in the culture? Being rockers and skateboarders and all that, half the hair cut off, taking all the hair off. That is a culture. That is the way some people live. And you don't know. I didn't know. See, I've seen Jada having some issues at one time. I thought and I don't mean this, y'all know I don't play on mental illness, but I thought Jada was going through some issues that made her not feel, you know how women sometimes y'all go through things and y'all just gonna change everything. I'm gonna change my hair color. I'm gonna change what I wear. I'm throwing everything out in my closet. I'm just gonna be a different me. This is my year. And I thought Jada, quite frankly, took all her hair off for a statement. I didn't know she had that hair disease. I personally didn't know. So it's not a joke for me to tell, okay? But at the same time, if I was in the joke telling business, okay, I could see the affiliation with her new haircut and the G.I. Jane movie. I can see it. But if I know she has this hair issue, there's no way in hell I make that joke. especially if I'm one of the few in the black culture that is Hollywood supreme. A+ Hollywood people don't go after each other. You just don't see it. You just don't see it, sis. I got to give Chris a pass on that part. I'm not saying that he was wrong for saying the joke, but it's only wrong if there was malice involved. And that's why he was like, it's a G.I. Jane joke. I don't think he really understood what was really going on. Now, that's just my opinion, sis. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just saying that all the stuff you just brought up about why she felt a certain way, I don't know if that was all calculated in those thoughts of hers of, well, she said that because the girl Demi Moore used to mess with Ashton Chrysler, and wasn't he a young dude? And okay, that must be the affiliation of August and all them. No, I don't think it was that deep.
I was saying it could have been affiliated with a lot of things, and it touched their family. Like there were personal issues of their family. So when you do a joke, and yeah, that's what they do. They're comedians. They talk about their own family. They talk about other people's families. I'm just saying, when you prep for the Oscars, and let's talk about it. The Oscars didn't include our people until most recently.
Which is
going to use the time that he's trying to shine to be rewarded for his hard work to talk about his wife. That's a problem.
Yeah, but sis, let me say something to you. If you want to bring the culture in here, there was even more reason for Will Smith not to do what he did, and that is since
he could have talked about what's her name? The first black woman I ever seen with a bald head that was a singer, Grace Jones. I mean, the lady looked. She had the black liner and all that stuff. But Jada came out and spoke about it and said, "Let me tell the world so y'all won't think I had brain surgery, so y'all won't think I got cancer."
Sis,
because those are the things that people say when a woman goes from, and she rocked short hair for a long time. She shaved it down because she was losing her hair in handfuls in the shower. It was very emotional for her, so I know it had to be emotional for her husband because that's who normally put the family back together.
Yeah, but sis, let me say this to you. You are totally assuming that everybody knew her hair condition.
No. I'm saying she spoke about it.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You're assuming that everybody's seen her conversation. I never seen it. Ricky Smiley never seen it. There's other stars that have come forward.
What made me say that is, if I'm preparing for the Oscar and use you as my joke to get a couple laughs, you best believe I'm going to do my research.
All right,
Chris
sis.
Rock is not a fool.
Yeah, I just don't know if she was the head of the joke. No pun intended. I don't think that he did a whole script on her. I think it was a quick one. I think Will was one of the guys that were actually was nominated for an Oscar. I think his wife is known. She ain't been on. When was the last time she's been nominated? They shouldn't have probably said nothing about her in the first.
She's nominated when Will is nominated.
Okay. All right. Well,
nominated.
Okay.
Who you think keep that man together?
All right. Okay, sis. It's different now. It's different now. I'm not talking about like them being a supportive team and all that. It was Will Smith on the credits of the movie of King Richard. It was Will Smith who was running and winning the Oscar. It was Will Smith. I'm not talking about their household and all that. I think if we really want to get technical, maybe Jada, maybe Chris Rock shouldn't even have brought Jada Smith's name up, period. All right. But exactly. I don't think that's my whole point, sis.
It didn't even make sense.
Yeah, it kind of.
Jane was made in 1990 something, 97.
And that's the whole reason why I think that there was no malice intended on him hurting her. I think it was all about, if you're not gonna get you're set up for this role, you can get this movie. And
so how did we get to? Okay, Randall, can I say this? Please? Because I'm trying to attach it because I'm listening to you. I love to be on the show because a lot of the men that's in here and the women, they are so intelligent, and I like to learn. I like to listen, and I do like to talk too, but I'm listening to you. So how is that relevant when he's being nominated for King Richard, that you're talking about two black women, Venus and Serena, who had trouble with their hair, going to tennis matches, being accepted as black people to play this sport, and you're going to make the joke about his wife with her hair. That's why I'm telling you, it's hard for me to accept it when I know that I watched the movie. We watched the girls. We heard their stories. We heard them booed and going through so much in their life where he felt like I need to protect these women. He spoke on it. He spoke on it. I feel like I need to protect the
it's
actors who played in this movie. I need to protect my wife, my kids. How can you keep making things relevant, Mr. Black Man? Chris Rock, that did a movie on hair and then make the joke about a black woman's hair. That's what I'm not getting.
okay.
Please make it make sense to me.
I can't
in the
because
movie,
I'm
it
not.
shows you they had trouble wearing their beads in their hair in the tennis match.
I don't think they ever really had trouble. I think it was a difference. I think there was a new scene. I don't think anybody told them they couldn't go on the tennis court with beads. I don't think they were.
It's an issue still we deal with today that I just ran a whole a petition for people to sign so they will stop cutting people hair at their tournaments. It's a big issue, Randall. We cannot escape that. It's a huge issue today with our young youth of how they're wearing their hair in basketball, football, all of the sports, volleyball, wrestling. This thing is happening. It's not ended when Venus and Serena started, in tennis, but it is an issue of how they wear their hair. The focus is not the hair. The focus is the talent. It's the talent. So the focus should have been on Will's talent of making King Richard. Why in the world, like you said, she haven't made a movie in umpteen years? Why are we talking about Jada's hair?
Okay. All right. I'll leave it there. Maybe that's where they'll try to figure it out. I just think that it was never about him making fun of Jada's hair. I think I guess in a sense it was because it fit a certain role of a movie. I think that's what it was about. And I think that if I tell you what, I've seen Jay-Z be nominated for a Grammy, and Beyonce is sitting there and she don't have anything to do with that Grammy. That Grammy. She don't have nothing to do with him running for that Grammy. And the presenter will say, oh my God, look at Beyonce sitting right there with him. Or, somebody will say something about the Queen or something of that nature. Sometimes their spouses are brought into whatever the conversation is. Maybe it's a joke sometime. Maybe it's something that's just real, I don't know, blessings or some type of goddess type of statement or something. This was a bad joke that went bad, but I still think that Will's, regardless of
people need to just realize that hair is not a joke. And I hate to be so intense about it, but hair is not a joke. It's really not. It's an issue that people think is okay to joke about. When they talked about Beyonce's child's hair, why she didn't comb it, the Gabby Douglas, this girl was doing her thing, gymnastics, and everybody's talking about her hair. It's just a hard subject. It's something that Black women has to constantly go through.
I got you. All right, sis, I'm going to move on.
Okay.
I'm going to finish talking about it a little bit. You too,
All
babe.
right,
Bye. That's a lot to congest. I got to digest some of that. Where do I start? I think that one got a little deeper than where I wanted to go. That was the deep end of the swimming pool. I really don't think Chris Rock was going that far into it, quite frankly. I don't think he was that far into making fun like that. That's why I said I didn't think Malice was involved. But, everybody have their opinion. Let's take one more caller before we get out of here tonight. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's Black Russia, Wyatt. What's up?
Black Russia. What's good with you, brother?
Hey, I'm chilling. I'm going to see you April 16th.
Yes. Can't wait. What's good with you, though, bro? What's your thoughts on this subject?
Look, man, I'm the biggest Will Smith fan you can find, bro. But he was dead wrong, man.
Yeah.
He's dead wrong. And look, all these folks I'm listening to trying to defend it, I just can't fathom it. And I ain't speaking from an ivory tower. It's like, yo, there's a way you go about handling shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel the type of way about what Chris Rock said, Hey, when he got up on stage, somebody said this earlier. I don't even want to take credit for it. He could have got up on stage and took the mic from Chris and gave a shout out to Jada. I love you, baby, no matter what.
It would have killed it. It would have killed it, wouldn't it? It would have just, it would have made him so much bigger, and it would have not took anything away from the moment, the night. It wouldn't have took anything away from King Richard. It wouldn't have took anything away from his Oscar. It wouldn't have took anything away from anything. It probably, if you want to make Chris Rock look bad, that might have made him look bad, and he would have had some explaining to do if he would have did exactly what you just said, Black Russia. Uh-oh. I think I lost him. I'm sorry about that. My phone, the call-in number went dead. I apologize. Let me reload it. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, it went dead. Black Russia, my apologies, brother. I hope you listening, man. That was, the phone line actually went dead. It was beeping on me when we had our last caller on. So I'm going to have to take it from here. If you guys are trying to call in, it's not going to work right now, okay? My apologies. It's just that the phone can only hold so much charge and we can only talk so long. So I apologize on that. We got a couple more minutes. I started a little late, so let's just keep on going. I have to stick to my circle on this. I want to repeat my position. My position is, I think Will Smith was wrong. However, he was not wrong if we find out Chris Rock knew what he was saying, knew what he was talking about. And when I say know what he's talking about, I'm saying if Chris Rock, which I seriously doubt, it's my opinion, if you find out that Chris Rock knew that Jada Pinkett Smith had a hair condition, a disease, and he made that type of joke anyway, then damn it, I'll stand in line with the rest of you, and we can go out to Chris Rock's house and we can light him up. Eggs and everything. We'll throw the eggs at the house and I'll pay the fine. Okay? We'll make it, but I just can't find it in me to see that this brother, who has been nothing but productive in our culture, in our community. When was the last time you seen him called a sellout, or he did something against the grain, or he did something that made our culture feel offended, or he attacked another individual in this small black Hollywood? When has he ever said something greasy and grimy and nasty about another sister? I'm talking about in his routine. Now, if it was Dave Chappelle, I ain't gonna lie. I love Dave Chappelle. He's my number one dude. But Dave Chappelle is he ain't even bold enough to say that shit about Jada and her hair condition and make that type of comment. Not even out on the road, he wouldn't say no shit like that. I can't think of one nasty comic that would do that, because number one, Will Smith is more powerful than most of us know. Will Smith has the ear of the most powerful people in Hollywood. That's why Will Smith will be okay after this. But Will Smith can make shit slow for you in Hollywood. I'm just telling you the truth. Will can slow your career down. He did it at a young age, and he's more powerful now, and he can do it now. And I'm just letting you know that I really think that if Chris Rock was going to attack anybody, try Dwayne Wade, or try somebody else that y'all talk all this bad shit about how they raising their kids, and their kids half boy, half girl, this and that, she this and that, she don't look good, she cheated on her husband. Try somebody else. You don't attack the king of Black Hollywood. You don't attack the $25 million man in Hollywood. And you definitely don't attack his wife. And I think that Will has a little bit more issues going on than, number one, the average person will admit. Number two, I've heard and seen worse shit said about Jada Smith, and Will said absolutely nothing. So that lets me know that I think Will got to a point, a melting point. I think he was like, I'm enough of this. Enough of this. I didn't had enough of this being the nice guy shit. And he chose his target. And let's just say that if Chris Rock would have never said that last night, there would never been an issue. There would have never been an issue. But the issue was coming sooner than later. If it wasn't Chris Rock, it probably would have been someone else. And I don't want to continue to make my commentaries and my conversations, and I'm not going to keep entertaining all this, black white stuff. I heard some people say some things like, well, if it was a white dude up there, Will wouldn't have did that. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true or not. It all depends on who the white dude is. If it's a white dude that will swing back, probably not. If it's a white dude that'll take it, Ashton Kutcher or somebody like that, and be like, damn, dude, say the same shit that Chris Rock said. See, y'all get shit twisted. Y'all think these dudes be from Philly and be from these hardcore ass cities, and that's what they live like. No, bro, the reason why they successful is because they don't quite live like that thug life shit that y'all think they don't live like that. That's why they successful at what they do. They're trusted individuals. They methodical thinkers. They don't think to swing. They fall back and play on what happened. They think shit out. You can't make it in. It's hard enough to make it in Hollywood. You can't be in Hollywood and be no swinger, kicking people's ass and shit like that. You save that for the movie theater. They don't want no problems up there. And don't make too much of it about I think that there's selective white dudes that could have been in the same position as Chris Rock. And I think for sure that Will would have probably did the same thing if it was a dude that wouldn't have swung back. But I want to make this one point before I roll out of here. For all my chaos agents who say shit like, if it was Charlie Sheen, somebody up there, and Brad Pitt walked up there and hit Charlie Sheen for doing the same thing, all y'all chaos agents would be saying this shit right here. You would be saying, see how privileged those white folks are? See how they do white folks? They let them get away with shit in broad daylight, right on open cameras. If that was a black man up there and he would have shoved him or punched him in the mouth or slapped him like that, his ass would have got arrested right on the stage in front of his wife and kids and family and the TV. They would have arrested his ass right on the spot if he was black. Let me say this to you. Will Smith is black. And Chris Rock is black. And one thing that they have in common with those same white dudes that you thought wasn't going to get arrested or nothing going to happen to them is they have this other thing, and it's called privilege as well. And it's a classification privilege. It's that privilege that I've always told y'all about. It ain't always about the color of you. It's how much of that green you got. That's a different kind of privilege that some blacks have because they got that money. And I just want to hear the chaos agents talk about why didn't Will Smith get arrested in a clean assault case? And there's some chaos agents out there right now that'll say, oh, Will was supposed to get that. No, if that was a white dude, if that was a white dude doing that, you see how they don't get arrested? If it was a black dude, they would have arrested him. I don't care if they would even use Will Smith. They would have even arrested clean cut ass Will Smith if he did that to somebody. Well, Will Smith did it. Will Smith didn't get arrested. And for y'all that don't understand what real assault cases are, let me just say something to you. Legally, you can get arrested for an assault without the prosecuting witness filing a report. You can. Now, go ask, go challenge, go do your research to any legal team. Now, here's the thing. Will it hold up in court? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that person has to sign off on that. I don't want to say sign off, but have to come to court and testify and say, yes, they put their hands on me. And maybe that person will never show up. It's not against the law to be subpoenaed in a situation like that and they never show up. But you can be arrested for an assault in an open room, and the person that you struck may say, I don't want to press charges. It happens in domestic violence cases all the time. You ever seen the police come to a domestic violence spot and the girl say with a Band-Aid over her head and shit and her hair like that, and she walked to the door, I don't want to press no charges. I don't want to press charges. It's all right. We was just talking. It's all right. I ran into the door over there. And I don't mean to make light. This is the shit that happens. And then the woman, they take the man anyway, because now the state is filing charges because there's obviously a problem, or a video camera may have caught it, or there's other witnesses that witnessed it. See, you don't need Will Smith to file these assault charges. You don't need Chris Rock to file these assault charges. This can be filed by the police and it's videotaped. That's the evidence right there. You don't need testimony from the person. The only thing that Will Smith is facing with Chris Rock is any type of, I don't know, I guess it would be more of a civil suit. He can testify in a criminal situation, yes. But to be honest with you, the state don't need Chris Rock for charges. They got a room full of people that witnessed it. Just being honest with you. So if the state was so bad on black folks, they'd arrest his black ass and take him to jail without Chris Rock even saying, I want to press charges. The state can pick up the charges. And then it's up to Will Smith to face criminal charges against with the state. And then if Will Smith if Chris Rock want to file, if he wants to testify and say, yeah, he hit me, all that other shit, if he want to do that, that's on him. But he also has an option of a civil case. So all my chaos agents out there who said, if that would have been a white dude, because I know that was it. It's always racial. If it would have been Charlie Sheen and Charlie Sheen and Brad Pitt up there doing the same shit we just seen. First thing out of them chaos agents' mouth would have been, see how they let them get away with shit like that? See how they let them do shit like that? You know, if that would have been two black dudes, they would have took his ass to jail in front of everybody on live TV. Live TV. And I'm here to tell you that if they really wanted to take Will Smith to jail that night, they could have. On live TV. Why didn't they? Y'all really believe that they needed Chris Rock to say, I'm going to press charges? They didn't need that. It would have helped. But there was enough evidence in the room. There was enough witnesses in the room, and there's videotape of it. And who's to say? I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but, you know, this was Wyatt-Live. They not listening to me. But I do like to try to stay frames ahead. Listen, he has Quincy Jones and he got everybody on his side. But let me just say this. If this was a situation somewhere else, and this was a regular dude on stage, and the other dude went and said, I don't want to press charges, they still could have took him to jail, and the state could have picked up the charges on an assault charge because you openly assaulted a man right in front of everybody. So I don't want to ever hear how they do us, because most of the time it's all about privilege. When you say privilege is not all white folks. I know I'm about to lose a few. Privilege is classification. It's a certain class. And believe it or not, I know some of us don't want to believe this shit, but class don't have a color. Class don't have a color. We got some paid ass black folks in this world. You just may not know. Maybe it ain't your circle. I don't know. But I done seen plenty of people get out of situations because they in a certain classification. So think about that sometimes before you always want to put a color doorknob on everything and take your turn at saying some shit. Understand there's other ways of seeing things. It ain't always black and white. I know my chaos agents figure it to be that way. But Will Smith just showed you. If it was Jay-Z, the same shit would have happened. If Jay-Z would have went up there and put his hands on Kanye, same shit would have happened. But if Pookie would have went up there and put his hands on Tyrone, both them Negroes would have went to jail. If it was the Taft talent show and the dude went out there because he told a joke and Mr. Smith, the janitor, said some shit about somebody's mama and that dude walked up there and smacked the shit out of him because you made a mama joke and it went bad, they taking Pookie ass to jail for smacking Mr. Smith. Whether Mr. Smith pressed charges or not, the state picking that shit up. Happens all the time. So all my chaos agents, y'all take y'all privileged, white privileged talking asses and y'all gone somewhere else and try to figure this one out. Figure this one out for me. Let me see. Let me see if the phone is charged. I'm about to get on out of here. I just want to see if the phone charged up. It is not charged up enough. So I'm not going to try to take another call. Y'all want to do part 2 tomorrow, or y'all want to let this shit rest? Are y'all ready to end this shit and let these brothers move on? I'm going to tell you, I'm disappointed in my man, Will Smith, and it's for this reason right here. I'm upset because Will Packer was the first black producer with a full black staff during this Oscars, and he will not get enough credit. The one thing you'll remember about this Oscars is that bullshit we seen last night. I hate the fact that Will Smith won an Oscar that night with that routine going on, that drama shit went on, that chaos went on, and it took away from my favorite movie, and that was King Richard. Y'all know I took pictures in the house watching the movie. I came on air when it first came. The first night it came out, I came on here and I was like, y'all got to check it out. I can't wait for y'all to check it out. Please download the app. Do whatever you got to do. Go watch this movie. This is the greatest movie in the world. And I was a huge advocate for fathers in the house. And this is the difference. When you got daddies in the house with them girls, watch that movie. And damn it, that movie is not getting the praise or the attention or the greatness that Will Smith was in that movie. Will Smith was amazing in that movie, but it ain't what we're going to talk about in that movie now, is it? And then, to be honest with you, Will in his acceptance speech incorporated Mr. Williams from the movie. And see, that's where I know he got Hollywood. That's when he got Hollywood and he tried to play on emotions of people. He tried to do the same thing fake ass Jesse Smollett did and use the black culture to excuse his actions. I can't buy that one, Will. You my dude and all. But a lot of us that got some sense and understand what all was destroyed in that one moment. There's some of us that understand there's a bigger picture than how you felt about your wife that night. I'm not saying don't handle your business about your wife, bro. I'm saying I still would have been on TMZ. I wouldn't have been on worldwide news like that. I would have been on TMZ. They would have had coverage of me kicking Rock's ass back in the janitorial box, or back in the back. He would have came out and his suit would have been on the other way or something. I would have beat the shit out of him too if I would have had a clear understanding that he did what he did maliciously. He did it on purpose. But more was lost last night than what some are even opening their mind up to think about. Some think since the award was won, the movie did well and it's fine. No, you want things to be talked about the movie. That whole moment has been destroyed because now we focusing in on some bullshit that happened, not what happened in the movie. So the energy and all the passion and all the lessons that movie should be teaching and carrying on has now faded away. And I'm not going to get into the chaos agent talk of the stereotypes. That's bullshit. White dudes get up there and act a damn fool as well. They fight, they do drugs, they smoke, they do all the bullshit that you see. But you know, when we do it, it's definitely static. There's definitely a cling. And it's more attraction and it's more bullshit. when we do it. And we know that going in. So if we know, we got to do better. This is Wyatt. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Peace and love to everybody. Everybody. Peace. Love. Everybody.
Can you dance? Let's find out.
Woo!
I want to see everybody on the dance floor right now. I'm about to put y'all to the test. Let's go. Do you know the dances? Do you know the hip-hop dances? Let's see. This one is the raw for sure, taking no chances. Bringing back them old school dances, here's the answers. Whether you remember or you're new to this endeavor, dance is a major part of this culture forever. What are we preserving if the children ain't learning? Culture ain't about just numbering and just wording. Sometimes you gotta show the culture at the party. Let's start with the Bismarck dance. Come on, everybody.
Do the Bismarcky.
Come on. After the Bismarck, the party about to get sparked. This is that moment you get live, get courage, get hard. I spit art, I'm one of a kind, they not me. I'm digitally underground like Shock G. Speaking of Shock G, when I jump, we jump. That's crisscross, but we talking about Humpty Hump. When you up, what? This is your chance. Come on, everybody, do the hump.
Come here.
Let's go.
Do the Humpty Hump. Let's get it.
That was the Humpty, now let's get it chunky. Like Biz used to say, yo, let's get funky, funky. With the funk flow, we don't stop. Right about now, we're gonna take it to the wop. Remember the wop, feet slide, shoulder drop. We did it in the clubs, we even did it on the block. Ready, set, go, stand on your spot. Take it to the top, come on y'all, let's do the wop.
Come on. Do the wop. Let's get it.
Watch this. Whopping non-stop and hip-hopping, we dropping. We ain't even get yet to popping or locking. It's shocking how many dance moves we came with. Obviously, we and the ancestors got the same gift. The same lift, the same riff, and the same split. Like Bob Marley said, when the music hits, it's painless. You can't tame this or hate this. You gotta love me. Come on, y'all. Let me see you do the dance.
Come here.
Woo! That's right.
Do that.
That's right.
Do that Dougie, y'all. All right, I'll see y'all. I appreciate you being here. See you tomorrow at 5
That
o'clock.
part where we go freestyle. Some of y'all doing the Cabbage Patch. Some of y'all doing the Running Man. Let me see what you got. Come on.
Peace.
Freestyle. Freestyle. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Where my B-boys at? Where my B-girls at? Okay, we out. Can you dance? Let's find out. I want to see everybody on the dance floor right now. I'm about to put y'all to the test. Let's go. Do you know the dances? Do you know the hip-hop dances?